I make a living by filming videos on my iPhone, so here are the best iPhone camera settings to get the best quality videos. Everything's going to be in settings and under camera. Then go to record video and set your default to 4K 30. This should give you the best balance between sharpness and frame rate. On that same page, scroll down, make sure that enhanced stabilization and action mode lower light are both enabled. And this next one's very important. Turn off HDR video. This is basically when people's feeds just end up lighting up their entire face because HDR is turned on. Make sure this is turned off. It's so freaking annoying. Also very important, auto FPS should be turned off. Lock camera should be turned off, and lock white balance should also be turned off. And then if you go back and go into record slow-mo, if you have an iPhone 16 Pro or 17 Pro, you have the option for 4K at 120 FPS, but only on the main camera. But if you have any other iPhone, any of these other options are fine. It's just based on preference. And if you go back and go into record cinematic, I don't personally really use this feature, which is why it's at the default. I don't like the fake portrait mode blur effect, but if you do use it, make sure you have 30 FPS or 4K if you have the option. Next, go into record sound. I have mine set to spatial audio, and especially on iPhones 16s and 17s, the audio sounds really good through the iPhone mics themselves, but if I'm not using the iPhone mic, I just use a DJI mic, which doesn't really record spatial, but that's completely fine. Now I go back and head into formats. This one is really important. If you're editing your iPhone footage on an iPhone, iPad, or Mac, keeping it in high efficiency is really good because you have smaller file sizes, but still retain the really high quality. But if you're editing on a Windows PC, you might want to check if your PC can actually handle the high efficiency files, because some PCs are a bit sketchy when it comes to those files. In that case, I would choose most compatible if you're only editing on a PC. If you're editing on your phone, high efficiency is perfectly fine. Now, if you have a more recent iPhone Pro model and you scroll down to the very bottom of the page, you have the option to have Apple ProRes turned on and your ProRes encoding option as well. I personally have these options turned on because I mix and match my iPhone footage with my Sony mirrorless cameras and cinema cameras. If you're not doing any of that and you're only using your iPhone footage straight out of the iPhone, these options will only slow you down, and the file sizes for ProRes are freaking massive, so I would recommend not even touching these options. Then head back and go into preserve settings. The settings I'm going to go through here are going to be relevant to video, not necessarily photo, but I like to have camera mode enabled. Scroll down and make sure the macro control and exposure adjustments are also enabled. Then go back into the main camera settings and make sure the grid and level are turned on. I also like mirroring the front camera when I'm recording selfie video. This isn't something that everyone likes, but I personally really like it. Your mileage may vary though, so make sure to pick which one you like. And view outside the frame is also a really helpful option if you have like a shot that you could get from an ultra, but you can kind of see through the preview above and below the frame. It's really useful if you're trying to frame up a different type of shot in the same exact composition. Now, this last setting is the most important one, and it's the one you have to do in the camera app of the iPhone itself. In the iOS 26 camera app, tap on video and then tap on exposure and make sure that it's set to -0.3 or -0.7. I've set mine permanently to -0.3, and this basically turns down the brightness of your footage ever so slightly while you're filming, and I've personally found this to give you better skin tones and make the videos overall look a little bit better and a bit more natural.